Guys, I am so sorry. I forgot to turn my mic on. That is totally my fault. Totally my fault. Totally on me. So let's get back to it. The name of this out of pocket behavior. Sorry, I just turned my mic on. I don't know what I was thinking. But a teacher is injured. I think it's a Texas school district by a student. Was hit in her right eye. Possibly could lose vision in that eye. I hope that she can recover. I pray that she can recover from this. Opposed, I think there was an altercation that happened with the student. They said they needed all hands on deck because he's the assistant principal. She probably had to go there. But the sad part is somehow she, while it was happening, she got hit in the face with a hanger, wooden hanger or something like that. And, caused her eye to be misplaced out of her socket. The student has been detained. I said that when the mic was off. Sorry about that. Student has been detained. I think he's facing charges. He should. He has to be accountable for his actions. And a question that I have is, where does the parent's accountability in this of the student? Or do the student takes full accountability in his actions? So before I get back deep into it, thanks for watching the podcast. Sorry for the 7 minutes of no sound. That's on me. I forgot to hit the on button on my mic, but hey, we back, we here, we working. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching the Thinking Game Podcast, episode 123. So with that being said, should he be held fully accountable, or should he be held accountable plus the parents be held accountable for this incident? Because the question I have is, how do you get to a point up here? How did it get off the rails that you just go AWOL, do stuff like this? Like, what drove you to that point where it's okay to do that? What happened in life that pushed you to that checkpoint or drove you to that checkpoint? Because as parents, you have to realize that your kids expose you to different things, take them to different places up here. So you have to think about that. How did he get to that point to where he could do something like this and injure a teacher and put himself in position to now he's facing jail time, probably assault and battery, something like that, couple years, maybe be more than that. Jay, what's going on?
What's going on? I'm sorry, man. Background messing up today. Let
Hey,
me
good.
put it together.
Yeah, I forgot to turn the mic on when I first started, man. Shoot, had a long day today.
I don't know what's going on with my stuff today. Hold on.
But yeah, guys, this definitely out of pocket though. When I went to school, I guess like I said, my mom, she didn't play about respecting elders or respecting adults. So I've never gotten to that point in my head where I felt like I had to swing at a teacher or hurt a teacher or something like that. I never got to that checkpoint in my head. I just was prevented. You could probably zoom the lens in a little bit if you want to.
Yeah, I promise. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, just like a touch. Yeah, that's probably the light. Yeah, that's probably the light right there. Boom. There you go.
Yeah, just, you know what? It's fine. Look, it's a lot better than it was. It was really fuzzy, but
Yeah, that was
yeah,
because the light was moving around. Once the light kind of it catch up with the light, it's all good. It's kind of because mine do that too. If I was to get up now, it's trying to readjust to the light, the camera and the software, I guess. Trying to readjust to the light. But yeah, man, what you think about this, man? You think that's out of pocket, bro?
it's a like emotional control. Like I don't know what this young man was going through. Felt like it was the end of the world. Um, it's that hold me back mentality. Everybody will go crazy when somebody's holding me back, but when somebody's not holding you back and you just keep doing stuff, you're throwing chairs. I mean, as an adult, few things. Matter of fact, nothing in my life has made me that angry. Um, barring something happened to my child, um, that make me just really go off like that. I mean, it's kind of like, hey,
Yeah,
man, maybe this kid has behavioral disorder or something like that, but you're responsible for your actions. Before, he needs to be on medicine or whatever needs to take place.
yeah,
Therapy should have been done beforehand. That's not the teachers or the school's responsibility to manage his meltdown.
yeah.
Uh, and then it's like, hey, if you were
Mm-hmm.
into it with another student, the student has been removed, the teacher's been removed. It's another principal coming in, and you're still not in control.
Right.
Uh, and I don't know if you're trying to prove how tough you are. You'll fight anybody. You know what I mean? Uh, so many moments in the story where the kid could have just de-escalated and quit while he was ahead. All right,
Yeah.
throw the first chair. You know what? Everybody makes mistakes. Whatever the situation was going on before, he threw the first chair. She kissed the chair. I don't know if that makes the student madder. He throws multiple. She's blocking this chair. At this point, she's going above and beyond the call of duty as a
Yeah.
teacher or administrator. This is
Yeah.
wild. You know what I mean? Prison guards sometimes don't have to go through what she was going through in this moment. She's thinking on the fly and she's really with it. The program
Yeah.
blocks multiple chairs and then end up getting hit with a hanger, knocking her eye out of socket.
Man.
A lot of things these young adults, they think they're kids. They're 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You're getting bigger. So you
Yeah.
have strength. You have adult strength. You have a lot of force. He threw a hanger with enough force to knock a person's eye out of socket.
Yeah.
They can't play with you when it's come time to subdue you or calm you down. It's not going to be hey little fella, calm
No.
down. They're going to put you down with real force, and then why they do that to my baby is going to be coming out somebody else's mouth. But
Right.
he had a lot of chances to de-escalate the situation. I think
Do you think the parents? Do you think the parents should be held accountable in this?
uh, to some extent. Uh, but you know what I mean. If I'm, if I'm giving assault charges to three people, I mean, I think that, I mean, that kid knew what he was doing and he was acting on his own accord. The parents didn't conspire to have the child do that. But I mean, I'm pretty sure some fines will go their way because the kid can't pay those fines and then things like that. So the parents will
Well, I'm
have.
saying accountable as far as what do you think exposure or things around him in his environment kind of can drive a kid to that point where he think it's cool to go this far, or do you think it's just individual? It's just individual based.
I think a little bit of both, like the thinking it's okay to go that far. Like a lot of this is kind of maybe encouraged in some
Yeah.
areas. When you get mad, I can't you can't tell me nothing. I see red. I just clicked. Uh,
Yeah.
and that kind of behavior and that kind of thinking is sometimes promoted. But even when you're super angry, uh, there's no golden ticket. There's no excuses for your actions. They're not gonna sit you down. Hey, you were really mad. We
Yeah.
understand. You know what I mean? Because we
Yeah.
can't mess with you when you're off. The teacher should have known when you said, you know what I mean. Don't push my button. Don't try you. The teacher should have known not to try you. No, that's no. You gotta can regulate those emotions, even though when you're that angry, you
Yeah.
can't just go off like that.
Yeah. I think the rules though, man, for the teachers is to make it tough for them too. Number one is the rules, and I think the percentage of men versus women that's working in education now is very low too. Most men at that regular level, like security guards and stuff, you don't see a lot of them. Like when we was in school, it seemed like they kind of dwindled a little bit, or it's not the same level of men, or they're administrators. But it seemed like those like mid level to entry level um, jobs, a lot of men are not, getting into those jobs. As far as like with having a male presence there, I guess it seems like it's starting to dwindle a little bit. It's starting to be more women than men. I'm not saying nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying a lot of kids know these kind of dynamics too, and they know that back in the day some women teachers you not gonna swing, you're not gonna do that too. They'll probably come knock you out too back in
Yeah,
the day.
and
You
you
know what
were
I'm saying?
speaking of before the culture of respect.
Yeah,
Even when I got bigger, you know what I mean. I'm in high school. I'm probably about 6 foot, 6'1",
yeah,
180 or something like that. An athlete, you know what I mean. And a 5'4" woman could tell me to sit my butt down, and I'm gonna sit my butt down, not because she can physically make me sit down, because the respect I have for her position, even
yeah,
subconsciously now. And then the
yeah,
male presence in the schools and teachers. I think female can do anything male can do. You know what I mean, barring some physical situations get out of hand like that. But it shouldn't ever go this far. But there's times that it do. You would have liked to see the male presence.
I think even with male and female presence, there the rules are so strict that if she would have defended herself, or even if it was a guy, you would have got fired. That's the crazy part. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. It's almost like a catch-20 thing. It could go
Your
crazy, but
hands
you
are
can't.
they can do anything, but your hands are
Yeah,
tied behind your back.
man, for real. And I think students know that as well. So that's kind of why they could be acting out as well. It's like you can't do nothing, you can't touch me. So who gonna stop me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that gives
Versus,
you more of an inflated sense of lack of
you got to
consequence.
think, man. Yeah, we was at Dunbar. Some of them teach that take you in the back corner, man. Give you a uppercut real quick, man. Get you right.
Yeah, and I mean it's
You
not
can't do
an
that now,
abusive
but
thing. It's a check and balance thing.
yeah, it's a check and balance
When
thing,
you
sure.
feel like this, like sometimes you really need to know. When you get that age, I mean, I had a dad that was active, and I knew physically a lot of stuff he can do, like mount martial arts stuff, and I've seen my dad
Yeah,
fight, spar, physical feats. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
but if you got a dad that sit on the couch all day and things like that, or drinking beer, you think you can try him. Sometimes
boy.
it's a parents thing, like, hey, to show you the levels and the difference between an adult, a boy, and a man.
Yeah,
If you learn that at home, you won't try these grown men or grown women at the school. I mean, even as a mother, like you said, you had a pretty tough mother. She would
yeah,
show you the difference between a boy and a man, or a woman and a man, if you got out of line to a certain extent.
man.
But I got a question for you. Like, um, would you think if it was better that they would have had a police on the scene and the police would have acted, a school resource officer would have reacted first, or
I think
even
it
coming in
would.
second? What the kind of situation would be? He
I think it
come, the
would be
police come in
better
here,
not
man.
to have a woman. I think it would be better just not to have a woman put herself in harm's way like that.
But what do you
I
think?
think
Like
it's better.
a
Yeah, I
police
think it would have been better to have a
response,
resource. If they would have had a resource officer there, yeah, I think that would have been way better for, especially when it got to that level when you're saying all hands on deck. You know what I'm saying?
and then it's the
Um,
level where you're a police officer with a gun, you're armed,
right.
and this kid or this student is armed with a chair. He's thrown multiple chairs.
I don't think a cop
This
would use lethal force. I think he probably would have maybe put him down on the ground or something, or maybe tase
But
him. I don't know, but
so you don't think lethal force would have been should have been an option when he hit this woman? He could have killed her. He knocked her eye out of her head.
yeah.
That's significant force. I mean, you come in
I
and you
mean,
see a
that's
woman
a
bleeding from
discretionary
her
that's a
head.
discretionary call. That's kind of like a discretionary call. I mean, when you in the moment, I guess it's different when you in the moment when things you in the heat of the moment. But I'm thinking if the police resource officer would have got there and they wouldn't have had to come like principals and stuff like that to de-escalate it. You know what I'm saying?
Because you got to think about the principal safeties. You have her laying down,
That's
bleeding
what I'm
from head. You
saying.
go
Like,
in the room and she's bleeding from her eye. Looks like a head wound. I mean, like what's going on? This person needs to be stopped. And your child gets the students get stopped by lethal force. Like I think maybe the police would have been within his rights. I mean, he almost he could have killed that woman. Inch to
and you
a
saying
more
it, but
right.
then the other side, the PR side of
Exactly.
that is he would have been looked at as a police brutality. So it's like,
Police brutality.
yeah,
So
you know what I'm saying. So
the
it would have been
student can
crazy.
act
But
any kind of way,
oh
but
yeah, for sure, yeah,
he almost killed this woman, took this woman's sight from her, like 2
right,
inches to the left or the right. She could have been
right,
a dead going to her job as a teacher, not a prison guard or not
right,
as a police officer.
right.
She could have lost
Yep.
her life, a blood clot and things
Now
like
think
that.
about this. What if they would have had that law in place where teachers could have guns in class? You know what I'm saying? They could carry guns to class. That would have been crazy too. You
Yeah,
know what
with
I'm
the
saying?
shoot,
So
you got to tell your kids control themselves because in the shoot
yeah,
first environment, you throw a chair, they're throwing bullets. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So you just gotta watch that. The consequences might be a lot more than you can see right now.
boy.
Um, so
We're gonna talk
real
about some of
jail
that too later
time,
on in the show. Yeah,
limited educational um, options.
yeah, for sure.
So
But yeah, we're gonna go to the next topic. Pick one. UAPB or Arkansas? Who you rolling with? They ain't even
I
close.
support USCP, but
Yeah,
all the money that's going behind those Razorbacks, the training, the facilities, the school, the campuses, the resources, it's hard to pick against
yeah.
them. But I'm definitely rooting for the University of Arkansas and Pine Bluff.
It's like who you want. You want Rocky or you want Drago? You know what I'm saying? Drago or whatever.
It's like Apollo Creed, you
Ark-
know what I mean?
yeah. Arkansas is Draco. Draco. The
It's just a
Russian. UAPB
juggernaut.
is Rocky. Man. And I don't think people realize like Arkansas has way more resources as far as nutrition, as far as working out, facilities than UAPB has. That's why, a lot of teams don't have a chance. It's not like um it's not about fairness. It's almost about your personnel, who has the best training, who has, the best nutrition, all that kind of stuff. And access to more resources and stuff like that. And I think sometimes that's what make the difference in these games. But all right, next topic is I know you Jane. I was say I gotta get Jay in on this too. Is Cam Newton justifying reckless behavior and is Cam creating broken homes? We're gonna watch a video too when
Yeah,
you
I mean,
watch it.
yes and yes. He is creating broken home. So he thinks a lot of people think a broken home is just a home in poverty, but it's the absence of the father, not the
Yeah,
absence of money. That's
right,
the problem. That is
right,
the lack of structure. You know
yeah.
what I mean? We get more and more rich black men via the NFL or the NBA that are going on the road, multiple families by unknown baby mamas sprinkled throughout the
Hey Jay,
country. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of
it's a little static in there, Mike. It's like a little small, a little bit.
I don't know, right?
Sound
Testing.
better now.
Testing.
Okay.
I don't know, much just hold it up to me, but these are like, in the 80s and 90s, we got NBA players touring the country, making stops in cities, uh, having children. I think was one of the NBA running backs got like 20 kids.
Man, that's crazy.
When you're making millions, you can financially support those children, but you cannot be in 20 houses
No.
and doing the things that it takes. So his thing was, hey, I got the cheat code. I'm going to take care of them. Not only am I going to provide them with money a month, I'm going to provide them a house in a stable environment, the best
Yeah.
education, but minus me. You know what I
Right.
mean? But the money's going to take care of it because I'm going to be there. They're going to be able to call me and like be a virtual dad. And the woman, and I think a lot of people don't understand her technique. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I hear it a lot myself because I speak harshly, I've been told, but she listened to what he had to say, let him get it out, and then in a way that he could understand, counted his point in his argument and informed him and
Yeah,
showed him an
she's doing it.
alternate way of looking at it. She was very
It's,
gentle with her
yeah.
approach. Some
Yeah.
people say, well, she just dominated him and she just schooled him on stuff. And she was very humble, but firm and
Yeah.
gentle, teaching him or showing him kind of the error of his ways. And hey, this is where this is wrong, and this is how this is wrong, and this is how this. Um, she articulated herself very well. That's the difference between a professional and a rookie. With the information that she had and she was delivering,
Yeah.
it was masterful, and I
Yeah. Let's
congratulate
watch.
her on that.
Let's watch some of it.
Men's love is almost predicated on transaction
versus relational.
versus
Relational.
emotions.
Yeah,
You
which is
see what I'm saying?
emotional.
Like
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
unlock these things
yeah.
when there is a transaction here where it's like, okay, even if I'm low functioning, what picks up my slack is the ability to be high value.
There you go.
And then
So is that more of like a delusion of having money? There's people that say that.
No, it's not necessarily a duty. It's a compensation. I'm going to
Yeah.
make up for that. So,
Yeah.
like, well, I'm not a good dude, but I can pay her, so I'm gonna get this money. And he let a little bit of toxic behavior going out, let it go out on himself. Like, hey, I can get a woman because I can put on a face or I can be whatever I want to get what I want or things. So he can put on a mask to be anybody to get a high functioning woman or a high value
Right.
woman. And she's just
Right.
like, that's not going to work long term. Like once she sees who you are or once he sees who you are, you can't fake it forever.
Right.
But a lot of wealthy men think that anybody, matter of fact, if you're really a talented people as well, I don't have to train because I'm extremely talented.
Yeah.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
When
And
it's more than talent. Yeah. For sure.
and it guess what? But and the thing is like so, and it's like high value, low functioning. So your career would have been longer. Like you may have a scoring title or this, or you made a Pro Bowl like 2 years. But if you would have done this, or if you would have worked out, you would have had 10 Pro Bowls, or you could have been the greatest of all times. You were under potential. Even though you were great, you're still under potential because you thought this could make up for this compensation thing. So
I wonder though, like when you say that, like this, like if you would have did this under potential, do you think that sometimes that dark side is what drives different people? Like if think about Lawrence Taylor, right? If he didn't have the dark side, would he have been way better, or is that what made him better?
that is a really, really good question because, like, the fact that he was the
Cocaine is
only
crazy, man.
take those risks in the chance. A logical person wouldn't be taking those
Yeah.
risks in the game or taking
Yeah.
those risks in college. Those are the things that made him a monster, that made him
Lawrence
outstanding.
Taylor, yeah, Lawrence Taylor was a monster, man.
You know, even
I,
with him, maybe if he would have been, he played the game a little bit more. Like, I don't want to say been more laugh and joke, ha ha ha, play the social or the networking game a little bit better. He stood on a lot of stuff,
yeah,
and his stances and his opinion maybe got him out of the league, and he didn't. Nobody did him any favors. Like he would have been still playing if he would have acted right. But he said, "My talent is going to carry me and keep me in the NFL," and that just wasn't true. And
nah,
what he says a lot, that he is a lot better currently than a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. But guess what? They played the game. They were able to be humble,
dang it,
maybe play
PR,
the second
yeah,
string
PR,
for a
yeah,
year. But he doesn't play the PR game. He doesn't
no,
play the he doesn't conform. He stays who he is. He's gonna wear what he's gonna wear. He's gonna do what he's gonna want to do. He's gonna say what he's gonna say, and that's why, you know what I mean. That's what makes him a good topic of discussion, a podcast host, and hopefully an NFL analyst. But people don't want to deal with you in the league. They don't want to deal with you on TV because of that.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
but you know,
He,
he thinks like that talent, his speaking, his intelligence is going
yeah,
to carry him, so he can do all these low functioning behaviors and then still carry him. Like I won, I did it the right way because I won the game. Just because you won, don't mean you didn't cheat. Don't mean you
right,
did things ethically. Yes,
right.
you're raising kids. They're physically healthy. They'll take care of them financially, but that don't make you a father. You know what I mean?
So
Completely.
how I got a
He
question
had
for you,
multiple points
for
though.
both sides. Like, if he got 8 kids by 3 different women, where is the accountability, like on 100% matrix, like fall on both sides? You think Cam is like 80% responsible, women 20%? Where does the accountability lie in that?
I think she touched on that. You know what I mean? These women, a lot of some people like these women started off strong, independent women. They got with him. Maybe he's misleading them, and he's doing husband type stuff. He's saying husband type things. Like everything he does describes a good father, good husband, but he takes away the third leg, or the other thing is I'm not there.
Yeah,
And that's what she's saying. It doesn't make sense. If you selling to these women, he's selling them a package that looks like a real husband. He's talking to me. We're connected on this level. We have a good partnership. We both want kids. The ideas for the kid we want is the same. It all looks good, but then he just takes that last part. I'm not gonna be here.
so what? Okay, so on the other side of that coin, I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but on the other side of that coin, because some of these women say, I understand he's not going to be there, but I get the lifestyle that I want. And they don't understand that the kid is the collateral damage.
Oh, absolutely.
Or
So
they preying on him because they know that he's looking for those things. They know that he don't want to be married, but he'll support the kid. And they're saying, especially if you have multiple kids. If you're the ones that have like multiple kids by him, you know that he's not going to be there, but you have multiple kids by him.
he's
He has to take
adopted,
some kind of accountability.
and
Huh?
he props to him. He's also adopted children. I think he had one or two that's adopted. I'm not,
Sure.
but he don't treat them like the adopted. He says those are
Right.
his kids, and I commend
Yeah.
him for that. But I
Yeah.
think with the women, they take accountability in some way. I'm going to make that difference. He's not going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this lifestyle. I'm going to take this house, and we're going to take care of this kid. He doesn't have to be. I'm going to compensate. I'm going to make up the slack that Cam is not doing it. I think that's some accountability some of these women can take. But guess what? A lot of women don't have a baby daddy nowhere near Cam's caliber.
Yeah.
They're
That's what
there,
I'm saying.
but they don't provide the resources. Or guess what?
Right.
They're not there and they don't provide the resources. So you
Right.
can have a total ghost and a deadbeat, or you can have a ghost that's financially taking care of you. But not a lot of guys are doing it on Cam's level.
Right. Okay.
And the women say, well, I can deal with that. You know what I mean? You get an allowance, you get to take care of his kid. He know who his daddy is. He can see him. He can talk to him. And that's more than a lot of women can say. He's doing something. Guess what? Passing. He's passing, right? He's not, it's not an A. It's not 100% A. It's not 90%.
Yeah, like a C.
It's 85.
Like a C.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's more than that. He's really, it's like 85 or 80. He's like a B level, but we know you can do better because he could do better. Right. Like some of us can't do better. We are our best, and we're making C's and D's about manhood, providing for our children, being educating spiritually, mentally, physically, whatever, all that stuff. We're there, we're doing everything, and we're still making 60%. He can make 80 and just not be there, but he's not even trying on one area. So he's not even trying to physically be there. So all the points he's losing, he's not even trying to, like, he's taking a test. Yeah. I'm not going to do none of the math questions, but he aces everything else. And he thinks that's great because I'm acing everything else on the test. I don't have to do the math part, or I have to do the certain portion, and the certain portion is being there or being married or showing that their parent.
And we're not talking from a place of like we've never. I know I'm saying for me, I had when I was in my 20s, I didn't have the money, but man, I was out there though, so I get where he's coming from, but I can only imagine having that kind of money that young, how crazy I would have been. I would have been ballistic. I know I would have. So keep watching a little bit more.
Which goes back to my point too.
The thing is that he's not young and he still has this mindset.
Boy, because he still got the money.
Yeah.
It's easy to have that mindset when you got the money, when you feel like the money gonna last forever. You know what I'm saying?
And you can
a woman won't do that for a man. Go to the depths of understanding. And that's just the reality.
Won't do what part?
She won't go to the depths of understanding, like, yo, even though I have a high functioning man, if he doesn't provide value, then that function will run its course. Because if you're dealing with a high function and a high value woman, as we've identified her to be, those things will then need that matched. And more times than not saying that it's not capable or incapable of happening, these things have a deadline where it's like, okay, what are we really doing?
But I also, that goes to my point of saying that pain needs things, trauma needs things, healing wants. So when you have a woman who is healed and ain't perfect, okay, not perfect, just healed, done the work, she would be able to sustain any relationship that she's in with another human, regardless of where they are functionality, value-wise, who is also just willing to sustain it, because she doesn't need him to do anything. She knows how to attach to the things that she wants in him. And from the beginning of meeting him, before we got to being married and being intimate, I've already identified, I want that, and that in you. We're talking about now not tangible things. I want these things in you.
So here's a question I want to ask you. Is a person responsible for their individual healing?
Yes. You are, it's okay to ask for resources and help, or
for sure.
Because nobody heals, but you can ask your pastor, your therapist, Google if you want to, whatever tools you need for your healing. It's okay to ask, but you have to do the work yourself. You got to inquire.
You got to do the work.
Therapy class. You got to do that yourself.
And you have to verbalize what you need healing from. I don't know. Did you hear Cam just take accountability for doing that? I don't think he took accountability for saying having the multiple kids. He just said, I want more.
Yeah. No, he
Yeah, I
didn't.
don't
And
even think he.
he said Ike can sustain this.
Right.
My actions, I can pay for my actions. I can
Right.
support the
Exactly.
system that I created, so it's okay. Guess what? I'm better than 85% of the fathers out here. So what I'm doing is okay because I'm better than the bare minimum. I'm better than a lot of people.
Yep.
That don't
It's that
mean you're
mindset.
doing great.
Right.
Because the fact is, he is better, and he's doing better than a lot of fathers out.
But that don't mean you're not making. That's what I'm saying. And that's the thing. You could be better, but that doesn't mean you're not making reckless decisions. And I had to learn that for myself because I was reckless when I was younger. It's like I'm good, but I'm still making reckless decisions. You know what I'm saying? But you have to admit. You have to admit that. I had to admit that to myself, Mike. You making reckless decisions. You bugging right now. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm not broke. I'm not a crackhead, but I'm not making the best decisions like that. It could be worse, but I can't stand on that. Like, well, at least I'm not a crackhead, and it's like, well, at least I'm not a deadbeat. At least I'm taking care of my kids, and that's kind of what he's saying to everything she says. Even when he says the women dealing with healed women versus dealing with hurt women or women that have trauma and things like that need him. Even if he's saying these women, they see certain husband characteristics out of him. You know what I mean? And this is not what they're getting in return. These one or two.
Do they see husband characteristics, or do they just see money when they see Cam Newton?
Now, from the outside, like he was saying, from the outside, you got to look a certain part. Like you can't come in to get certain women, you can't look like this, and then to get in certain men, you can't look like this. So he always presents himself as the part, and then that's.
I mean, you got to realize what he like 6'4". What the Cam like 6'4"?
He called
6'5".
Yeah, he's pretty tall, but
6'5", 260. 6'5", 260. Jay, he probably still kind of buff. Like I understand when the girl, but then he got money to go with it too. Like if this dude was a stockman at Walmart, he wouldn't be probably in this situation. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then that's what validates his argument. Like this, I can do this.
I get that part. What he's saying,
and he basically said, I can get any, like healed or not. I can get the women that you speak of. You know what I mean? I can get them. You know what I mean? And then she's saying like you can't get them and sustain them because they healed and they're going to see
He don't care about. That's what she don't realize. He don't care about sustaining. All he care about is conquering. That's it. Just I could drive that car and turn it right back in. I don't care about trying to give me the long-term lease something for what? And we're going to mess with her too. We're going to talk about her too.
The long-term lease is these kids you're creating.
Yes, that's the collateral damage.
Like,
yes.
And then you really being transparent with this, kind of fear of, divorce and things like that. And he really doesn't see the pros in, marriage.
Yeah, because in Georgia, I think it's half. In Georgia, if you don't get your paperwork right, I think if somebody divorced you, I think Jeezy had to get his paperwork right. She was going to take half of what he had. I think he had to get some stuff done, like the prenup and stuff. He had to get all that stuff kind of sorted out. Well, it's going to be over, yeah. So, yeah, you got to think about that dynamic, too, when you have wealth. A lot of dudes think about that. Like, when you meet somebody when you're wealthy, you don't know if you're getting that true person. They'll do everything. They'll be a genie in a bottle when you got that kind of money. They'll do anything you want.
But then,
whatever you can imagine, they can probably do. They'll figure out how to do it.
And then what he's saying that they'll present whatever he needs them to present, and they'll play the role that they need to be as well. So we have people kind of playing the thing. Now you got a kid on what ground you're standing on. These people just because they were beautiful, they're gonna be. Well, I'm not choosing these kind of women. But it's like no matter how smart you are, how much money you get, sometimes you don't have like Kim smart. You got money, and you're gonna make decisions that you believe are right because they serve you and you're doing the right thing you're doing better than half the country. Right. So that means I'm right. But that's not how
Yeah.
you raise a kid in the family. Well, I agree to disagree. I'm gonna do it my way.
Right. Watch a little bit more, then we'll get off of this. Let me see. I'm trying
These
to think.
5-hour conversations we have all night after I've seen clients for 12 hours,
Yeah.
baby, that recharges me to get up and kill the day. That's more important to me. I'm just speaking, maybe it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
me,
yeah.
but that's important to me.
You speaking.
When I come home and I'm able just to lay up under you and you're funny as hell and start joking and I wasn't in no mood to joke, but you light me up, that's what I want in you. That's what I want. And so my healed part is picking the parts that are now feeding the healed in me. So I don't really need you to do anything outside of the functionality that I'm wanting from you. Now, when you come in and say, I say to you, baby, I want to go to Bora Bora, and you say, you know, daddy can't afford that, right? Do I turn and say, you ain't daddy? Hold on. Or do I do like Monique does with her husband and still call you daddy? Now, if you're asking me, subjective, well, whoever I choose, wherever he is, high or low or medium value, I hope he's a hybrid like myself, he's daddy. And I love him. And I'm choosing from a place of being healed now. So I'm choosing what I know that I want long term and not need for the season that my pain is in. See,
All right, let me stop for they dingers.
No,
So,
but yeah, and that was a big thing as well that
yeah,
she just unpacked with that.
yeah,
A lot of people don't understand that in relationships, everything is transactional or conditional. These are the
yeah,
conditions of my love. These are the conditions of my loyalty
yeah,
through you. So if our dynamic change, you know what I mean, and not picking the parts that you know like, you know what I mean, or that you want to need.
yeah. It's doing it again a little bit. Your mic is staticking like a tap. It like it goes up and down. It comes in, it goes out.
Yeah, I messed up my setup when I
Okay,
kicked it over.
okay, cool.
But another thing, man, I heard some people say, well, I don't think she's a doctor because the way she dresses or carry herself and things like that. Well, why is she wearing a gold chain? Why is she wearing a revealing dress? It doesn't
It's
kill the
marketing.
message or the
It's
way she
marketing.
talks.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
marketing. Yeah,
you know what I mean? We times have changed. Just because you're educated doesn't mean you have to wear a suit all the time. Now I know you speak on this podcast about presenting yourself how you want to be treated, but you can't discredit the knowledge of person, the way they carry themselves, the knowledge they're presenting to you,
yeah,
information, because oh, she's wearing a dress and this is revealing, or where she's wearing weave in her hair. Doctors don't wear weave. Like where does that come from? That does her
yeah,
appearance
yeah.
doesn't
That's pretty
discredit
crazy.
her education.
But I will say this: when a dude see you out, he don't know if you educated or not. All he sees is what you have, what's showing though. I'll say that. And they can make a break. Here's the thing, like I was talking to my wife about this. We was taking the kids to school. She said that she would want to date somebody younger without kids and maybe high value or something. And sometimes like say you can make a unicorn that don't exist, you know what I'm saying, with your filter. Nothing wrong with having
Yeah.
a preference. There's nothing wrong with it, but you go from a crowd to this person. It's like weird science. It's almost like weird science. You build this thing that is so unreal that it's not real life though. You know what I'm saying?
That was my
So
movie.
most young guys will see her and they'll say, "How did you get to 41 with no kids and you only been engaged but no kids and you think that I'm going to think that you're whole like?" You've been out there. Yeah, I'm not trying to down. I'm just trying to say the reality of getting to 41 with no kids. How did you get there? Like the path to get there. I'm not talking about the body. I'm just saying, have you been chased the whole time? Have you been, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did you get there? Most dudes gonna look at that. They're not gonna say it to her, but they're gonna say, how did you get to 41 and still single? You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
but to me, that makes an interesting person. That's the mixture of
Yeah.
seasoning that makes somebody, taste right.
Okay.
Life does things to you, like so. The
But
education
will it
she
got
had,
long
she
term?
traded education. She traded her youth for education, and she
Mm-hmm.
what a lot of people you get in youth, but she kind of comes healed. And I like even getting it at 41. If
But
I was
why is she
25,
still single? If
that
she's
was guess
healed,
what? She just got there. Like, okay, why did it take you so long to get the degree? It took 10 years to get my degree. I mean, it takes 10 years to get your degree. So to get my degree, that's 10 years. To go through the relationship turmoil and the experience of life, that's another 5 years. That's 15 years. It took me to get something. I'm trying to get something. I'm not qualified for what I want right now. That's what took me so long. That's why I'm 41. Now I'm qualified for what I'm asking for. And I can see that, and I can see the flavor, like, you know what I mean? She's been in the oven cooking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like, as far as age-wise, like, having kids in a family at 41, who wants to start having kids after they're 40? I'm talking about having kids.
Guess what? I mean, I don't want to have kids at 21 with a person that's broken, no skills, no education, I would prefer to have kids with that 41-year-old woman than a 21-year-old, whatever some of these things are out here.
But the chances of complications happening just off just a biological of a woman,
I deal with that. The
okay,
other things decrease risk, exponentially decrease other risk in other areas by the work you've done, mentally, physically, spiritually. And you know how hard it is to look like that at 41? That shows another level of discipline.
There's so much makeup. It's like Photoshop, man. Like she got
Not
Photoshop,
talking about the skin, like, bro, like Photoshop and makeup ain't gonna take 40 pounds off you. You know what I mean?
So if you and I both know.
If you got 600-pound life, I don't care how much makeup you put on, you ain't gonna come on there and be 300 pounds and they gonna contour your face and you gonna look 180. That's just not. That's not possible.
Okay, what I'm saying is, I
like women myself, so I can tell she's attractive without makeup. You know what I mean? Maybe she's not as pretty as she is now, but that's still an attractive woman. At 41, you can be a lot of things.
Your mic staticking again.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm saying is, seeing somebody on camera and seeing somebody in real life, two totally different things. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she look worse. I'm not saying she look better. What I'm saying is lighting, a 4K camera makes somebody look totally different than seeing them in person. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
totally
crazy,
different.
You know, and then no matter how much education, no matter how much therapy a woman gets, she can be still broken down to her physical appearance. And it's just like that. You know what I mean?
Not really. I don't think so.
You know,
but even with that being said, women could break down a man. Even if a man go to break down his financial though. They
for sure.
So it's like a yin and a yang. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is with those. Go ahead.
It's the double standard on each side.
Yeah, but I was saying last night was instead of all these buzzwords, high function, low function, high value, how about just be solid? You know what I'm saying? How about that? Just be a solid individual. How about work on that? Just being solid. You know what I'm saying? But they got all these extra words out there.
And I think, they delving a little bit deeper. You know, people hide behind their, high function or high value and things like that.
100%.
But it's like, okay, you got a job. What do you do? What is your mental health like? What is your function in life? What are you doing on a day-to-day thing? What are you thinking about in your downtime that makes you who you are? Are you healed? I think they're trying to put purpose behind your actions. You got money, but are you purposeful? I mean, in so many aspects of things, we can't just like put it in one category. You know what I mean? Now you're putting,
100%.
Hey, you're saying solid. That's if you can just be that. But it's so many pieces to being solid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Your morals,
that's what I'm saying.
And things like that. And they're just breaking those things down. And then he's like, well, I'm solid, but I'm really good at this. I'm really good at the financial part, and I'm lacking in these other areas. But it's okay because I compensate in another area.
All right. Next slide. Pick one. What are some of the things that you used to eat but won't eat anymore? I know Peter, he
Chose
at the
my
game,
ex-fiance's.
man, dealing with that crowd. What are some of the things that you used to eat that you don't eat no more?
I've really just never been wild. These are not really things that apply to me. Uh, I never ate a lot of noodles, but so that's why I still kind of eat noodles. But like
Yeah.
I never could stand the smell, the taste, the texture of a Vienna sausage, cracker,
Oh, yeah. I couldn't do
anything
that.
like
Yeah.
liver loaf. I'm not. I mean, struggle or not,
Yeah.
I'm not eating it. You know what I mean? Just give me a
Yeah.
piece of bread before I eat. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
that low grade food. You know what I mean?
I said I
So
grew up in the country, so like sweet home, man, like great northern white beans. Ugh. I could go without some great northern white beans. Lima beans. Ugh. I don't have to eat that. Brown beans, it got to be with Jiffy cornbread and a lot of sugar. If not, I'm not eating it. You know what I'm saying? A lot. I could do without a lot of salt for the sodium and stuff and the salt, man. That stuff will kill you, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, me. I'm.
Yeah.
I kind of
I mean,
y'all don't take a vegetable. You know what I mean? Y'all take a greens, put enough salt and fat back. It's supposed to be a vegetable, and so much meat in the greens.
then you always got the uncle to come over there and get the fat back, the what is it, the hog maw, whatever, get it up out the greens and eating it on the plate, just straight salt.
Let me get that pot liquor. You know what I mean? Like,
the ham hock, yeah, get the ham hock right out the thing. Oh, wonder why he taking high blood pressure pills, boy. Man.
Did you use fat back?
Boy. But yeah, I think about stuff like that, man. Like ramen noodle. I can't eat it. Me and my wife, we tried to cook hamburger helper one time. We couldn't eat that no more, bro. Too much sodium. I think it was 300 grams of sodium or something. It's crazy.
This is dispersed about like supposed to be dispersed by 5 people, but some people eating it in one setting themselves. You know what I mean?
It just tastes different though, too, man. Like when you start eating more cleaner food and you go back to eat something like that, you can be like, man, it is crazy. It's intense. You can just taste the salt. It's like you tasting pure salt. Like, man.
Yeah, you got to definitely do those salt alternatives, you know, so.
Yeah. But all right, man, move to the next slide. I gotta see if I can pull it up. Facebook post of the day. Legal game from Esquire Jimmy Morris Jr. Let me see if I can pull this up, man. He pretty much was talking about some of the legal stuff that people go through, like alibis and stuff like that. And he was saying, like, it has to be believable, your alibi, or it's not gonna work. No matter how good you think it sounds, you have to convince a jury about your alibis and stuff like that.
If you ever been sitting in court, man, the prosecutor is gonna make what he said you did. He gonna have a whole story and a whole scenario about what it's not even true. But what he said you did, by the time you listen to the prosecutor, was like, maybe I did.
Boy,
some of them are
he gonna sell that dream for real. And you better have a good lawyer. The crazy thing is, you could pay for a lawyer, and it still may not be believable. All he can do is give you the best chance to win.
With the tools of the law.
All right, let me share the screen.
They be having your family looking at you like, man, I think he did it.
Boy. Watch a little bit of this, because I'm going to skip around to it.
So that it wasn't in possession of the person. So that it wasn't in possession. 20th Habanas Festival. Today I want to discuss Saudi defense and affidavits. Y'all know what you're thinking. The hell is a Saudi defense?
And this dude's in Little Rock too. This ain't no guy that's out of town. This actually dude in Little Rock.
Hell is a Saudi defense?
Lawyer. I think he's a criminal defense lawyer.
Saudi defense is when you say, basically, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Some other dude did it. I didn't do it. Some other dude did it. And
how he's able to
most
drink that
people would
scotch
think,
and
okay,
not,
when does that happen?
and not grimace? He cold blooded.
When does that happen? Well, oftentimes
I'm gonna get right to
for
it.
a person. Man, look, I got hit with a gun, but this guy, there's he willing to fill out an affidavit. An affidavit should get me out of it. Well, an affidavit is only as good as the believability of it.
Man.
What do I mean by that? If you go to a gun store, and I've been to gun stores a lot, and I'm an avid gun enthusiast,
You could break a
and
scenario
they have
down,
signs
a
up
couple
that
of them.
says, don't do a straw purchase for a person. If you do a straw purchase for a person, what happens is you end up buying it because you don't have anything on your background, and you hand it to someone who is
no procedure.
a felon or can't purchase a gun because they have a protective order or whatnot.
It's a no procedure.
Now, you've done a straw purchase for this person. If they find the gun in that person's car, well, the obvious thing that would be said is, well, I left it in there. So that it wasn't in possession of the person that was driving.
Man, you know how many times dude probably had to deal with these scenarios as a criminal defense lawyer, man? I can't even imagine like how many times this has happened, man. Somebody comes, I need you to get me out this jam, man. There was a gun in the car, it wasn't mine. I wonder how many people that came to him and they really didn't have a chance. And he said, I can give you a shot. I can't guarantee you're going to win, but I can give you the best shot in the world. But it's going to cost you $7,500 or so, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Was driving the car.
I can't hear you, Jay. I can't hear you.
A lot of it is getting your years down.
Yeah.
Because some people are going to get the max.
Yeah, he talked about that too.
If they're gonna get you from murder one, he can get you don't do this some time, but he can get it down to manslaughter. A lawyer can do that. You can't. A public defender can't. Yeah, you shot somebody, you gonna do that time. But getting it down from murder one or capital murder to manslaughter, man, is a miracle in itself.
Boy,
you know what I mean?
It's a world of difference.
Doing 2 years instead of 10 is a world of difference. Yeah, like a lot of people don't think they gonna. I hired a lawyer. I'm gonna get out untouched. Like you did something, they gonna touch you.
They gonna touch you.
The car. However, they possessed it, but it wasn't in there from the sake of being their firearm. Okay, so now all the paperwork links back to you, and it's not illegal for you to have a gun, kind of but it is illegal for them to have a gun. So oftentimes they want you to do an affidavit, and this affidavit they think is going to absolve them.
Oh, no.
Well, the prosecutor's seen this 100 times. He may not believe your affidavit. He may not believe that your brother, cousin left it in the car. Now, it may be more believable if it was your mother and it was your mother's car and you rarely drive that car and you just hopped in that car for a time period. But if it's a car you drive on a regular basis, then that's going to be very hard to prove.
Yeah.
So a Saudi defense has to be a believable defense in that it has to be something that you can either sell the jury or sell the prosecutor. All right. Now, if it's your first time in possession of a firearm, it's easier to sell it than if it is the second time. Second time, it looks like this is a pattern that you've established. Now, the other thing that becomes problematic is this. Possession of guns and firearms. Guns and drugs.
Boy.
Firearms and drugs.
Young kids, please learn this. Hear this.
Let's say, for instance, you have a gun. You have it a legally registered firearm to yourself, and there's no registration process other than FLL buying it in Arkansas. But you have this gun that you have the ability to have it, and you have a concealed carry permit. And your friend jumps in your car, and in his backpack, he has a kilo of cocaine.
Please hear these young people that's in the inner city.
Even though both of you all have separate reasons for having what you have, and may not know what the other one has. If you are pulled over and searched, both of you can be charged with simultaneous possession of drugs and firearms.
That's what you don't want.
So it does not help that you say, well, I didn't know he had a gun and I didn't know he had a kilo of cocaine. That doesn't help you very much. So an affidavit of someone saying, well, I had a legally registered gun that I left in the car, this guy didn't know about it, generally doesn't absolve you from what we call a simultaneous possession. So a Saudi defense is only as believable as the facts in the case, okay? I can tell you that I go to gun shows all the time, and I see people who can
Trying to find
for having the drugs. Now the theory would be that she was in the car, she is uphill battle because you have someone who was not, okay? So I want you to keep these things in mind when you're talking about, well, I didn't do anything, I was just there. There are clear she knew nothing that was going on in it. So the question becomes, how do you connect her from a joint possession issue for having the drugs? Now the theory would be that she was in the car, she gets the same thing as everybody else under joint possession theory, in which my client was the girlfriend of a drug dealer.
that's the last point that I'm going to get off
And
this.
she
Please
benefited from being a girlfriend of a
For
drug
you girls
dealer.
that want to date drug
Money,
kingpin,
luxury, fine, fancy cars, furs, all that. When the feds finally came in and busted him, you would think, oh, I didn't do anything, I'm going to get away with it.
Nope.
They arrested her too.
Yep.
And they charged her with misprision of a felony. Meaning she was around and she utilized the proceeds and the lifestyle of this drug dealer without telling on him, so therefore she got charged as well. There was one more case that I want to tell you is this.
Yeah, this the last one.
There was a housekeeper, and the housekeeper was cleaning up this gentleman's house. She didn't know anything about his business. She didn't know what he did for a living. All she knew is he paid well and he was a good tipper.
Wow.
So guess what? She was excited and she would do what he asked. So she, in cleaning up the house, he calls her and he says, hey, can you go get that package that's on my bed? Somebody's gonna come and ring the door,
Man,
and all you gotta do is hand it to
naive.
him. She does not know what's in the package.
Don't
She
know.
doesn't know anything about his business. She knows nothing.
Yep.
She hands the package over. They arrest her for delivery of controlled substance.
Yep.
Okay? So I want you to keep these things in mind when you're talking about,
Man, you hear these
well, I didn't
scenarios?
do anything, I was just there. There are several felonies that are related to just being there, or several felonies
Man, he
that you
said
can do unknowingly
just by
or
knowing
unwillingly.
and not saying nothing, they could charge you for it.
So just be careful of those things. But as it relates to Saudi, let's go back to Saudi.
Let me stop that. But man, shout out to Jimmy Morris, man. I thought this was pretty interesting. I think a lot of people need to hear that kind of stuff because that's what a lot of people say. I didn't know. They think they get you out of trouble. I didn't know. Man, that don't get you out of trouble, man. Sometimes that only make things worse for you because you did know. Well, they gonna say, well, you didn't know. You should have known. But let me give you something to help you out. Man, he said that a cleaning lady was just there cleaning the house. And he said, give somebody that package for me. And she just go in there and grab the package.
Man, if
level.
a jury convicted her, that's sad. I
They
understand
can do it though.
They can
Did you just hear this dude saying you don't know will not get you out of nothing because you didn't know?
No. I mean, I understand.
Dude.
I mean, I understand the law. You know what I mean? But if she probably play it down. But if a jury convicted her of that, that's crazy.
Man, it's crazy, but
you gotta be convicted by a jury of your peers. 12 of them.
The thing is, to try not to even get in these situations. Why do you want me to get a package for? Why do you want me to get a package for? That's weird. Like, what does that got to do with me cleaning your house? That ain't got nothing to do with me cleaning your house. Dude, he said if you in the car, you got to register firearm, you legal. And your homeboy get in the car and he got a key in his backpack, y'all get caught. They charging both of y'all with simultaneous possession.
Yeah.
Whether you knew or not. Man, I didn't know he had that in his backpack. Well, you finna get charged with it too. So that said, what does that say? You need to know what people got on them when they get in your car. If you're not sure, you need to ask them, hey, what's in that backpack? Man, you get out of my business, man. Well, don't even get in the car. Holler at you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll holler at you, man. But yeah, man, I just wanted to show y'all that, man. Don't be smart out here, man. Don't fall for the okie doke, man. Because in the court, it's different. I don't know don't work in court. It don't. He just told you that. A lawyer. I know people think I'm mean when I say that, but a lawyer just told you that. So, and that's what you're going to have to pay a lawyer to, that money sound. That's what you're going to have to pay to. All right, pick one. Rest in peace, Psycho Sid. Rest in peace, Owen Hart. Who you rolling with?
I like Owen Hart, but I don't think he got the shine that he really deserved. He was alive.
Yeah, he prematurely. Yeah, he kind of left prematurely to get that shine.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then he did a lot of work. He was extremely talented. Really didn't get like that a lot of prime time. But I'm going with Psycho Sid, hometown hero.
100%.
It was just a really crazy guy. Like seeing him in the WCW, RP.
Man, he wrestled with Ric Flair and them in NWA too, bro. Yeah. I didn't even know that. Man, he been around for a long time. He stayed in shape, like relatively good shape too.
Yeah.
I don't even think I don't think he was on PEDs. If he was from Arkansas, it was just redneck genetics right there, man. I mean, whatever. Psycho Sid is one of the dudes who ride around with the gun rack in the truck in the back window. Sure. You know what I'm saying? That's Psycho Sid right there. The Ford F-100.
Picking up the kids from school with the gun rack.
Yeah, Ford F-100 pickup truck with the 30-30 and the gun rack. Oh, man. All right, man. This is the last one. Stat of the day. It says 13% of students find adjusting socially to college life is hard. 13%. You agree with that or you disagree with that?
Yeah, most definitely. I think that number is it's different numbers. Like, so going to college,
for sure.
To school is one thing. You know what I mean? 13% on that. Okay, I can see that. But I would see that it was more if you're living on campus, living in a dorm, away from your parents, no supervision in sight. You go to class. When you want, you got your little refrigerator, you got your little laptop, you got your little desk, you're in a dorm. Yeah. That's a whole social thing that we want everybody to experience. Dorm life, just kids your age. It's like summer camp times 1 million. Socially, you got to find your way on there. Like, there's no teacher, there's no parents saying, don't do this and don't do that. You're free out there. So that's why I would say the number would be a little bit higher when you factor in the dorm experience, living on campus. Now, if you're just taking a couple classes, you're taking a full schedule, but you still live at home, that social experience will be different. But when you're like out there, they shipped you off to Miami. You from Arkansas, you know what I mean?
Boy.
You shipped off to Bama, you know what I mean?
Then if you haven't been... let's say if you haven't been taught discipline and self-restraint, and then you go to another place like Miami Beach, and you go to the beach, you ain't never been to the beach in your life. Yeah.
Because at this point, you've been forced discipline. because you're in your parents' house. You got to be there at a certain time.
Yeah, boy. Like you never, like for a man, you never dealt with women on that level, from a freedom level. You know what I'm saying? Usually dealing with your parents and maybe family members, but dealing with a woman as a man now, that's a whole nother kind of adjustment that you got to make. You know what I'm
and
saying?
people don't realize this. All right, you're dealing with barely a woman, barely a man, but you're a man, and they're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That woman's stupid. You're stupid too.
Yes.
Y'all want to
100%.
do stupid things together. You know what I mean? So you might, get a child as a freshman. You might, get STDs running rampant because, like, in high school, girls are a little bit more reserved. They're in their parents' house. What
high school you go to?
On average, in general, girls will be a little bit more reserved because she's a girl. She's living in her mom's house. College, she's an adult. She's a woman. No parents in sight. So you got to deal with that. Some stuff is going to get easier for you because it's going to be women everywhere. There's drugs everywhere, refund checks everywhere, and you're just not ready. So I would think that number would be social adjustment. It would be very difficult, good and bad.
Freedom will expose you for who you are when you become freedom. When you deem yourself free, it's going to show you who you are, whether you can admit it or not. But it's going to show you who you are. Some people get caught up in drugs. Some people get caught up in dealing with women. Some people get caught up, like say, with money, scamming people. They just don't have the restraint, or you don't have the awareness to realize, wait a minute, I'm struggling dealing with this specific thing. I need to chill. I need to stop. Because that's what you like doing.
Their moral compass is dictated by consequence.
Yes, I can see that. Yes,
a lot of people only reason I don't drink and drive because I'll lose my license or I wreck my car. Only reason why I don't abuse women or take drugs because I don't want to go to jail. Only reason I don't sin because the Bible. Take the Bible away, take the laws away. And who are you? What do you want to do? And that's pretty much who you are, and that will be exposed. Evil person, drug dealer, scammer, that'll come out.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, guys, pretty get ready to sign up out this thing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Hope people having fun at the game. I bet you the traffic is crazy out there right now. But yeah, man, guys, thanks for watching. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, bro?
Go Lions, go Arkansas, period. You know what I mean?
The Golden Lions.
Teams can't win, but go Arkansas. Be safe,
guys.
This Memorial Day.
Be safe.
Labor Day weekend?
Yes. Yeah, Labor Day weekend, Monday. Yes, sir. Be safe out there, guys, and we signing out.